Every hard money lender is going to ask you the same question. How many deals have you done? And if your answer is zero, you're immediately getting worse terms, lower leverage, or in some cases, a flat out denial. But here's the thing, every experienced investor started at zero. The difference is the ones who built their track record strategically got better terms faster. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm Aidan, and I've funded hundreds of millions of dollars in hard money loans for real estate investors across the country. I work with first time borrowers all the time, and the number one thing that holds them back isn't their credit, it isn't their cash, it's that they don't have a track record yet. And most of them don't realize that there are specific things you could be doing right now to start building one, even before your first deal closes. Let me walk you through it. Here's the plan. First, I'll explain why track record matters so much to lenders and exactly how it affects your terms. Second, I'll give you the actual steps to go from zero deals to a track record that gets you better leverage. And third, I'll cover the biggest mistake new investors make that keeps them stuck at square one. Let's get into it. Why track record matters to lenders. Lenders use experience to measure risk, right? The more experience equals the better terms, higher leverage, lower rates. Zero experience means that you're really an unknown. The lender is going to price based on that risk. The typical tiers are one, first time investors, zero deals. Next is generally 1 to 3 deals. Then you're looking at maybe 4 to 7, 8 plus, then 10 plus deals. Each tier unlocks better leverage and pricing. And it's not just about the number, it's about what you can document and show for. The track record rule most people don't know is that one, you must be on the business entity that completed the deal for it to count. If you helped a friend flip a house but you weren't on the LLC, the company that owned the property, that doesn't count. If you were a passive investor but not on the operating agreement, the document that says who owns the LLC, that also doesn't count. Lenders verify, they'll ask for closing paperwork or proof you were on the company that owned that property. This trips up investors more than anything else. I see a lot of times people said, I joint ventured with this person, I gave them money and they flipped the property, but there was no paperwork documenting a partnership or proof that they were on that entity. Unfortunately, that doesn't count for experience. So, step one is starting with the deal that fits your experience. Don't jump from zero deals to a 400,000 gut renovation. Lenders see that and immediately flag it as jumping rehab levels. Start with cosmetic rehabs where the only things you need are paint, flooring, kitchen remodels, or bathroom. This is a lower risk for the lender and an easier approval for you. Once you can prove you can manage a project on time and on budget, that's when you can start looking at heavier rehabs. So the next thing is to get on that entity. If you're partnering with someone experienced, and I always recommend your first or second deal or even third deal, partner with someone who can watch your back. Make sure that you're at least on that LLC. Your name needs to be on the operating agreement and the closing documents. This is how you get credit for the deal when you go to your next lender. Even a minority ownership position counts as long as you're documented as part of that entity. And then the third step is partner strategically. Again, as we're talking about, find that experienced investor who needs capital, deal flow, or boots on the ground. Find a way to provide value to that investor. Bring something to the table. They bring the track record and they'll bring the experience. Structure it so that you're both on the entity, and after 2 to 3 deals, you now have a documented track record. You can go to that lender solo now with proof of completed projects. Step four is hiring a strong general contractor early. If you don't have construction experience, your general contractor's resume matters. Lenders look at the contractor's track record or at least proof that they're an active general contractor in that area. A contractor who has completed projects at the level you're attempting definitely helps your file. Get their portfolio, references, license info, and have it ready for when the lender reviews your file. This is especially important if you're doing anything beyond a cosmetic rehab. Step five is document everything. Keeping your closing statements, whether they're HUDs or settlement statements from every deal, matters. Save before and after photos of every project. That also will help greatly when you're looking to jump rehab levels. Keep records of rehab budgets versus actual costs. Track timelines when you closed, when you finished, and when you sold. This is your investor resume. Build it from day one. Lenders always will request a track record from you up front. So if this is something you already want to start building on your own, keeping it through an Excel sheet or Google sheet, this is really beneficial so you waste no time when first approaching your lender. The biggest mistake is waiting too long to start. Investors spend months studying and never pull that trigger. Your track record starts when you close your first deal, not when you feel ready. So start small, start now, document everything. That gap between 0 deals to 3 deals is where the biggest improvements in terms happen. Once you have your 3 completed deals documented, the lending world opens up significantly. So, again, don't be afraid to partner to get to that place. And look, if you got a deal in front of you right now and you want to see if the numbers actually work for hard money, we built a free approval calculator. You plug in the deal, purchase price, rehab budget, after repair value, and it tells you whether a hard money lender would even fund it and what your costs would look like. That's the fastest way to go from studying it to actually pulling the trigger on your first deal. Click the link below to try it out. Again, every investor you see running 10 projects at once started exactly where you are right now. The difference is that they were intentional about how they built their track record from the beginning. Now you know exactly how to do the same thing. Subscribe because I'm breaking down everything you need to know about funding real estate deals, whether it's your first one or your 50th. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.